this is not written in mm, we can say just 12 units for the time. So this is the leader line. So all these fours are very much used for entities are very much used to represent any type of dimension. Similarly, how the arrows, a single arrow, how different arrows are used. For example, if you see the arrows, the dimension you see, the length of the arrow head will be 3x and the width of the arrowhead will be x times. So the length will be 3 times of this width of the arrowhead. So there is also different types of arrowhead. For example, this is open around 90 degree. This is spacing as 90 degree. There is a, this is also open, but the angle is almost less than acute angle, that is 20 degree. This is the closed one. This is closed with filled. This is the oblique. This is the small open circle. So all various ways are there to represent different types of dimension. So these are, for example, if I want to represent, I have to put a circle and represent this one, this one. I can also indicate this by a circle which is present outside. Also, I can represent this dimension. If I have no position to write here and there, I can represent in this way. So there are various ways to represent the dimensioning and the notations. Also, the alignment is very important. How? We cannot just align something because when we place the dimension, there is a two systems of way of representing the dimension: aligned system and unidirectional system. Aligned system means the dimensioning has to be aligned with respect to the drawing. For example, if this is 30 mm, so I have to write that one in inclined position, this vertical position 30 mm, 28 mm, 60 mm, 16 mm, 28 mm. These are always vertical, horizontal way of writing. This is leader line representing 16 mm dash circle. This is 30 mm. This is 28. These are written in inclined position. You can see this also. The arc of this one is also written in 80 mm. Now you see this one, how it is different from this one. You see the 30 here is placed like this way, this like this one. This is like this way, like this way. You can see how the position has been changed. So from, if you see from the bottom, everything will be looking the same. The 30, 20, 10, everything will be in the same orientation. But here, when we look from the bottom, one is actually inclined vertical. These are the inclined vertical, what you can see here. So that's why here also what you can see here, it is not inclined, but it is a unidirectional way of representation. So these are the two ways of representation, and it is very much important that if I want to adopt any one of the systems, either aligned system or unidirectional system, I have to stick to only one. Because if I am representing 30 here and I start writing 28 in this way, 16 in this way, or I write 60 in this way, 60 in this way, this is wrong. Aligned and unidirectional cannot be mixed together. It has to be either aligned or either in unidirectional. So this is very much important of placing a dimension. You see, these are the way how the dimension of rectangular prisms are done. Just you can do it outside, doing it outside, either left or right, in a particular pattern, particular pattern, this one, this one. Okay, either this one, this one. Similarly, this one way of representing the length and width and the thickness. So this is the various way of representing different diagrams. So these are the various rules actually, which we need not to go about. So this just we look into the important points in this one. So that should be done so completely that further calculation or assumption of any dimension or direct measurement from the diagram is not necessary, because when we do the dimensioning, we should not, like I said, that if I go into this diagram, what a way of representation is being done, this extension line is not provided. It becomes very much arbitrary that what a dimension you are representing. So extension line is very much important in this case. If you go to the second one, each dimension should be given, but none should be given more than once. So the dimension should be given, and it is not required to show the dimension more than once because, for example, if I have, if I'm, for the example, if I have shown one diagram to you, like if this is the square and this is the present and this is 50 mm with extension line present, and this is 100 mm with extension line present. Okay, and this is this we have marked as 50 mm with extension line present. We did not to represent this one because this is we by default we know this is 50 mm, but this is not to be repeated again. Okay, but we need to represent this one as 50 mm or 100 mm in one go also using this one also. So this is very much important not to avoid repetition. This is very much important. Let me clear this one. And the dimensions should be placed, on a where it is clearly visible, not inside the diagram. It should be placed well separated from the arrow what you have given here, like 50 mm or 50 mm above or below. It should not actually. This is not the correct way. It should have a proper spacing like this way. Okay. You should not touch the dimension line in the way. The dimension line should be placed outside the views. Like I said, it should be placed outside the view unless they are clearer and more easy to read inside. This is very important because anything what we put inside the diagram, a person who is looking the first time may, in the process of processing that product or anything, may think that is a part of a drawing. So dimension line should be outside the view of the drawing. Mutual crossing of the dimension line and dimensioning between the hidden lines should be avoided. You cannot just go on like this. I'm representing something as uh, 50 mm and like this one is 100. No, this is not correct. Mutual crossing is not correct way of representing. The outline of the center line should never be used as a dimension line. No, because this we have learned. For outer line we use thick border lines, and for dimension line we use thin lines, right? So that is very much important. So sometimes a center line may be extended to serve as an extension line. So the align system is always recommended. You can see the align system is very much easier to represent things. Let me go to the align system. Yeah, align system. What happens is it is very much a good way of seeing the things, but still it is not mandatory that we stick into that one. We may stick into this one also. Okay. Now these are the some of the ways of dimensioning, how the dimensioning are done. The total is 60. You see, if the total is 60 mm, all the dimensions generally in mm. We have mentioned this is 16. Now this is 20, this is 10. We need not to mention this one because we can easily find out. Similarly, the representation of this one is this one, where this is another way of representation. 16, 30, 30, 50, 60. This is the another way of representing. Similarly, with this dimension, always go from smaller to bigger one. Smaller, not the bigger one, then the smaller one, then this one. Because in that process, you will cross this one. For example, if I am representing the bigger one here, the other lines will have to cross this one. Otherwise, you cannot show this one. So this is avoided. So this has to be very much done, taken care of while we represent the dimensioning. Also here you can see the repetitions of dimension is avoided. 15, 15, it will be the 50 minus this 30, this will be 20. Similarly, this one, the represented by leader line. So these are very much important. The dimensioning of internal parts, how it is done. Sometimes what happens, it is very difficult to write the letters, or it becomes inconvenient to write the wordings in between because there are spacings are very less. For example, in this case, okay, although we do not have proper, it should have been 125 or 120, 1256 like this way. We cannot write this way, so we have to extend it like this way, and we should have to make sure that this doesn't comes into picture. We have to place the writing in a such a way that we cannot actually make this one small with respect to everything has to be uniform. So this has to be taken care of. Like this is how the 10 is being represented in here. You can see how the 10 is being, because instead of writing this one, we represent 10 in this way. The circles way of representing. This chamfer, this is the edges, that is 2 into 45 means both sides has been inclined with 45 degrees. This is the long, this is, you can see short break lines that is being used. Short break lines. So these are the certain things that we have to represent. This is the 45 degree. This is the another way of representing 2 into 45. Or this you can use as 45 and this is the 45. Sorry, 2 and this is 45. So there are various ways of representing this diagram, but it should be done in a certain way that it should be understandable. And one thing is that the instead of mixing everything, you need to follow one system, either in the line system or the unidirectional system. Avoid crossing of the dimensions. Avoid use of wrong pencil as well as wrong line to represent different entities. Those lines are fixed because that represents something. So that has to be done, taken care of while doing the diagrams. Thank you. So any doubt, please? We'll take a break of like 10 minutes and we'll continue with other part. Any doubt related to this PPT?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I hope all of you have got the PPT with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll take a break of like this is 11:46. At 12 we'll meet. Okay.